The UAE is currently ranked number 28 in the United Nations e-government survey out of more than 190 countries, climbing 21 places from where it initially stood in 49th place 3 years ago. In order to advance further, though, industry experts stress that a digital strategy needs to be developed. IT professionals from the Emirates, Bahrain and Oman carried out the second day of the 19th edition of the GCC e-Government and e-Services Conference and provided an insight into how social media should be integrated into the public sector. GCC government entities all have online presence. However, the question is, are they using it effectively? This morning's panel stated that the GCC's public sector needs to focus more on their online networking sites. They should pay more attention towards engaging with citizens, increasing traffic and the optimization of the platform. Organiser of the event, Mr. Ali Al-Kamali, the CEO of Data Matrix, says there is progress, but more does need to be done.
The 19th GCC government is focusing on the fourth generation. When we talk about the fourth generation means now we need to be serious. Because now you're putting the policy, you're putting the roadmap. If you don't know what you want, you can't. Now a lot of people are saying that we have to start a new e-government, which is, let's say, 2020, okay? And we develop a new one and we forget the old one. Just through the new one, reduce the services, be focused, outsource some of it to the private sector, and then you go. But to say that if there are progress, the progress is there always, but it's like, non-focused progress is there, is sort of random progress. Yeah. So I don't think that will help, and I don't think that will land in a good airport.
According to Dr. Usman Zafar, approximately 50% of the UAE's population use Facebook, along with other social media platforms, while prominent UAE leaders and senior government officials are increasingly taking to Twitter to connect with the public. There are also close to 2.1 million active Twitter users across the Arab region, as stated in the Dubai School of Government's recent Arab social media report. Dr. Azman stated that while there are several success stories coming from the UAE, the challenge for federal and local government entities to be more active online still remains.
If you look into most of the government departments, federally and locally, they do have online social presence, but they don't do much with it. So what I was trying to explain is, like, in order to have an effective return of an investment, so you have to have a strategy in place. So if you have the right social media strategy in place, so then it's much easier for you to basically roll out all those channels. So we have seen at many departments, they start it and then they, stop it because of the lack of the policies and procedures. So if you want to do it, if you want to talk about an open government or sharing information, it is very important that you have to have that policies and procedures in place. And lucky enough, UAE is the first country where Emirates e-government in Abu Dhabi, they have published the policies and procedures for local and federal governments, so which can be used as a point of reference for the other government departments. UAE quite aggressively, publishing their messages on Twitter, Facebook, and other things. So I strongly believe that, in today's world, the time is essence. If you want to access anything online, so it's available online and you can get all the information. You just log in, or you have a mobile device where you are able to access the services. So why not? So if you have a certain population available online, those who are well educated, they know how to use it, and they are young people. So why not to come up with a policy or with the mobile apps or with some interactivity to basically pull them in, which makes really life of the people easy. Because you see, like, we spend in Middle East millions of dollars in streamlining all those e-services. But the still challenge is, like, how many people are actually using those services. So why not to come up with some sort of an online participation programs where you attract people, where you give them value-add services. So this is the whole point actually I'm trying to raise in this conference. And